Hey guys, welcome back. So excited. We are on M and it's messaging. I'm leaving this in. I wanted a video with you in it. This is about building your brand. Yep, she's gone. All right, so pull out some notes, some paper as we continue in this series of videos on basically launching amazing and big things. I'm so excited for all that has been going on so far, and this is a very special chapter in which we talk about that brand. And when you talk about brand, you have to start with chapter 3, the letter C. Go back, pull those notes if you still have them, and hopefully you're keeping all your notes together, because you start with that original vision that we crafted in chapter 3. Take a minute to pull that out, look at that vision frame, and if you can, I should have said this before you pull it out. If you can, draw the vision frame and write in each part, the mission, the core values, the operating system, and the strategy from memory, because you want to have it in your memory banks as we go. And then you have to pull chapter 5, which is the letter E, and add the components that we talked about in that chapter. And if you remember, that's the evangelism chapter. That's going out and reaching people in their community, which makes a lot of sense that it would connect to your messaging. This branding will change across multiple social media platforms, as well as in each piece of marketing we use. This is one of the keys. One of the keys to understanding branding and messaging is that not all social media is the same. Not every marketing piece is the same. It needs to change for the audience that you're trying to reach. And most people, when they come up with that one advertising piece, they just send it out across all social media, all their marketing and everything. And that's just not the way it works. So let's start from the beginning. Your logo. What is your logo? Your logo tells a message. When you see an Amazon package with that big smile on the box at the door, you know, you get, what's that feeling that you get inside when you see that smile? I don't know about you, but it kind of feels like Christmas for me. I know that I have something coming in that package and I'm so excited. And most of the time I open it and it's like clay or art or some supply that my wife has ordered, and I'm quite disappointed, but I still smile because she's still here, by the way. She's over there. I still smile though when I see the Amazon package, because every once in a while it's for me. That's the power of a logo. Put that smile on anything. You can put it on a plane, put it on whatever. You know that's the Amazon smile. You know exactly who or what that belongs to. Same with the golden arches of McDonald's. If you're into McDonald's and you see those arches, there's a little feeling you get inside. I don't know how Disney did it, but they created a font. Whenever you see their font on, it could be a grocery list in their font, and it makes you think of Disneyland. I don't know how they got a font, but they did. This is the power of logos. How about the Nike swoosh? 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 What is that even supposed to mean? Nobody knows what that even means. Why did they get that? Why did Apple choose an apple? I mean, they named themselves Apple, but why? We're talking about computers. The Twitter bird. I don't get some logos, but it doesn't change the fact that the logo is more powerful than words. And we have to make sure that we have a great one. Spend time on this. At some point, if you put this logo on everything you do, it's going to be more powerful than if you use words. You're going to be able to just put your logo on something and everyone knows what that means. In the church world, the logos, we use a cross, right? That sends a powerful message that says way more than we could with words. Sometimes it's a dove, sometimes it's a fish. More contemporary churches are now using more like water and mountains in their logos. I don't know if I love that, but whatever. What is your logo? When I launched a church, I used a professional agency to make a logo that incorporated our name into the logo, and it was awesome. I want you to really catch that. I spent the money and the time, although they did it for free because it was a friend, but whatever. It was a professional agency who put together our logo for us because I knew how important it was. When I launched a business, I used an online service to make me a logo. And for $35 is all it cost. I explained the vision of my company, which was a social media advertising company that we were going to say we were going to do whatever it is your product was in 6 minutes or less. We were going to get that word out there. And so they came back with a boomerang, and our name was on a boomerang, and it was great. I'm like, yeah, I throw something out for advertising purposes and it brings a customer back. It's perfect. But I don't know if I would have thought of that on my own. That's why you can use these companies, because a logo is that important. For $35, they actually sent me back 8 choices and I picked the boomerang. All right, so spend the time, the money, whatever it takes to have a great logo. Next, you need a tagline. You have your vision frame in front of you, right? At this point, you wrote it down or you got it out. But this is your mission, your core values, not a tagline. The tagline is what rolls off your tongue when people think about you. It's different. It's like Nike, just do it. The tagline is just do it. That's not their mission. Their mission, if you go look, is quite long, and they have core values that are long. That's kind of funny, actually, to see how many core values they have. You can go on a website and see the core values and the mission of any company. It's not their tagline. It's not what they put in the commercials. It's not what's on their advertising pieces. When you're branding, you're thinking about what people are going to retain outside of what you're launching. At first, they're not going to be attracted to some list, a long mission statement. Those things matter, and people will look at them later because they do matter. But it's not that first thing that draws them in and tells people what you're all about. When we launched a church, our tagline was not a place you go, but people you love. We wanted people to know that the church wasn't going to be about the building, just another building in town, just another church that people can choose from Google to find and go to. This was going to be about people and how the people were creating community together. That was our tagline. And full disclosure, I stole it from another church. You can do that with taglines. Well, I guess it depends on what we're talking about, but a lot of churches, they take other churches' taglines because they're good. So what's your tagline that draws people in? Homework. For this video, I want you to, at our next meeting, if I'm coaching you, I want you to show me those 8 logos that either you used a company or you talk to your team. That's a great choice, by the way. Have your team sort of throw all of it on a whiteboard and say, here's what we're all about. What's the logo that sort of pulls this together and says who we are? And then tell me your tagline that goes with it. So you show me your logo and your tagline, or if you're not there yet, show me all your logos you're kind of thinking through and a few of the taglines you're thinking through, and then we'll talk about it. The second homework assignment may not be a quick endeavor. So use your team again that you've built at this point through several of the other videos and start brainstorming through some ideas. Pray about it. If it's a church, a mission, a nonprofit, spend time throwing it in front of random people and different people and see what they think about it. You want to show them the logo, show them the tagline, and just see what their first response is, their first impression. And I've got great news for you about this particular subject. This is one of the few videos or parts of the curriculum that you're not making a decision that's going to stick with you forever. It helps if you can nail it on the first time, but if you don't find the perfect one at the first time out, you can change it. You could change it every year if you wanted to. I wouldn't suggest that because people are drawn into a logo and they kind of figure out who you are with your tagline. And if you're changing it every year, you become kind of schizophrenic to them. But every once in a while, it's okay. You can change your logo, you can change your tagline. Things might have changed and you just want to kind of express that. This isn't for life decisions that you're working on here. After your tagline, you need to start building your brand on social media, all the different platforms. The key, and I've already said it once, but the key to understand this particular video is that social media is constantly changing. Even as I'm filming this video, I would probably tell you to start with a couple certain sites that by the time you're watching it may not be the most important sites. Where I would start right now, if you're watching this relatively soon, is the website. A website's always going to be important, at least I think, and you want to lock that down. You have to go get it. GoDaddy, one of these websites where you lock in your website name, and you make sure that you can also get email accounts to match your website. This is the front door of what you're launching. So you have to make it match who you are. People do not come to your new endeavor without first looking at your website. That's the world we live in now. So what are you showing them? I want you to go and look at, if you've already started one, a website, and say, is this a good impression of who we are? I have seen this done so poorly that I wondered how it was even possible. How was it even possible to build something that looks so bad that no one would ever go to it, and somehow that's what you put out there? That's how bad I have seen some websites. Other times I saw the most amazing website, and then I visited the location of what it was and wondered, did I read the address wrong? Like, this doesn't make any sense because it's nowhere near what they showed me in their website. That's not good either. You need to have a great website because it's a great representation of who you are. Does your messaging match who you are? It does matter. So if, I think you get it. After we do the website, next we build our business site on Facebook. Again, assuming Facebook still exists, but I think it'll be around forever. So it's kind of an important one that a lot of people are on. Now, what do you want your brand to be on Facebook? I have just asked you a question that most people never ask. They never ask that question. What is your brand specifically for Facebook? If you are taking everything that you put on your website and just copy and pasting it onto Facebook, then you don't understand Facebook. That's not how it works. You may want to have someone on your team specifically be in charge of your Facebook presence, because Facebook is an interactive platform. When I visit a company on Facebook, I'm not trying to learn about who the company is. I already did that when I Googled them and I went to their website. I'm going to their Facebook page because I want to see how they interact with people, or I personally want to interact with them. I want to ask a question, or I want to see what they're doing this weekend. What's coming this Friday, because it's going to be the more relevant, current. The leader's going to tell me something about their life. They're commenting on things. When I say something on a Facebook page and they never respond to it, that tells me a lot about their company, because Facebook's interactive and that's not how they're treating me. I'm just another number to them. If that's how I feel, like I'm just another number, I'm not going to be involved with that particular company, because Facebook is interactive, and you have to understand that and build a brand specifically for it. Instagram. This social media platform is completely different, and it's extremely powerful. This is where you tell a compelling story every day. Catch that. Every day. That's the part people struggle with Instagram. Like I said before, Instagram is one of the most powerful tools in our messaging world, but it's an animal. It's a living, breathing animal, and you have to know how to use it. You tell stories and you interact with followers by showing who you are on a daily basis through Instagram. You don't have to comment on people's stuff. It's a little different. Facebook's interactive. People expect conversation. When you go to Instagram, you're just looking for compelling stories. And that's what I look at. I look at people's compelling stories almost daily. I go on there and now I have people I want to see every day what they're doing. I don't know why, but somehow they're compelling enough that I go on Instagram and I look at their stories. That's what we want to do as we're building our brand. What is your messaging in each social media platform? YouTube has a completely different audience. Twitter, what's your messaging on Twitter? What's your messaging on Snapchat? Yelp, TikTok, that's the newest one that I don't even have because I can't get into anymore. And this is another point I want to make. You want to be handing these out to different people on your team that best understand it and can do a brand based on what that social media platform is and the brand that you want to put out. What's the messaging you want out on that particular social media site? Pinterest, It's another great one that's rising and getting stronger and stronger. Who's going to lead your Pinterest brand? It's not easy. It's not easy. This is one that people struggle with, and they're always like, I can't do this, which leads us back to the front door. What is that first thing people are going to notice about you and see about what you're putting out there? I mean, it's your website, but all the social media points them back to the website. And then as they go and they check out the website, once people understand your message, once they like your website, they recognize your logo, they identify your tagline, then they just might show up to your actual location and buy whatever you're selling. It's not easy, but your messaging matters. And I would suggest outsourcing this to someone on your team. In fact, if you built a large enough team, I would outsource each social media platform to a different person on your team, specifically for that particular tool. They're all valuable if used correctly. If you don't have a big enough team, pick the ones that make the most sense to you and spend all your time doing those few well. Do those few correctly. Another aspect that was part of the evangelism series video that really pushed into what's your 3 uniques. What's unique about you that you can then show in these messaging that you're putting out there? How do you stand out from your competition? You know, obviously not everything is a competition, but what makes you stand out? How are you laser focused on what you do and what you are? How does your logo and tagline show something unique about you? What's the guarantee? These are all from the evangelism chapter, which is the 5th chapter. What's the guarantee that you're offering? If they come and they're a part of what you're doing, this will happen. Put that into your logo, into your tagline. I'm going to share my screen. I want to give you some examples. I have, I love looking at church websites and church media sites and missions and nonprofits. It gives me energy to kind of see what others are doing. And so there's a few that I have found that are really good. Let me show them to you as I share my screen. Okay, here we are at Good News Church. So right off the bat, it's bright. You see happy people. You see multi-races. You see just family. You see so much. And so when I go to something like this, I'm like, okay, what's the service like? Boom, visit a service. So that's the first thing I'm looking at. And immediately the picture pops up quickly, which means it's, well done. And it shows me the service, because that's kind of what I want to see. I want to see inside this building what happens. Obviously, the music is incredibly contemporary, but at the same time, I noticed pews. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like an old school church building with pews with a modern rock sort of contemporary worship. I would love to go here. This actually looks really cool. I can see the times right here. And then the next thing I would want to know is location. So okay, service times. What should I expect? What should I look like? Plan your visit. So I knew, I wasn't sure, but I knew it would come quick because it's a well done site. Bam, here it is. And we are in Omaha, Nebraska. I didn't even know that. That's funny. So just well done, how I should look, what am I going to do with my kids, and then tells me about the place. And now if I want to go deeper, I can then go about, connect, sermons, and I probably would actually go to sermons, and I'd want to hear one, and then bam, first thing on here. See, this is just, so this gives me an image of this place, understanding like exactly who their target is, because it just led me exactly where I would want to go. Let's do another one from Grace Hills Church. See if this one shares correctly. Let me have to edit. Let's do another one. Here is Grace Hills Church. All right. If I want to, well, I guess I could tell right here from this picture what the service is like. Big screen, looks like contemporary music, people raising their hands. That tells me something. This looks like, right, I figured it was going to be. So we're in the middle of coronavirus and quarantine and pandemic. So they have obviously changed their website to immediately tell me, all right, what's happening? Are we open? Partially. We're hosting one service at 10 and an RSVP is required. Oh man. I don't know when you're watching this video because M's a long way from now, but do you remember these days? Oh gosh, it was terrible. All right, so I want to watch a service because that's what I'd want to do. I'd want to see it, and then I can go in here and hopefully see if it works. I don't even know. Watch a service.
Well, good morning, Grace Hills Church.
It's casual.
Glad you guys made it in.
Tell me about himself. I don't know if I can put another thing on here like this, but anyway, you get the idea. So they've given me a picture of who they are, what the building's like, what the speaker's going to be like, what I do because I'm in the middle of coronavirus. If normally, hopefully that's not normal. And then I would also want to check out where the kids go when I get there. And so I'm just going to assume they've done it well. I'm in media. Usually you click back. Let's see. I might be blocked where my picture is right here. I can't get back. I can't. All right, I'll exit out. Went to Good News Church. So there's a little error there. Once you go on to a video, apparently I can never make it back home unless it's behind my little picture here. All right, let's do a different one. This one's called Church on the Move, which is a cool name. They've got their logo. As you can see, it's kind of a moving arrow that pushes you into Church on the Move. So I don't know how, but that just looks like movement. So their logo and their name, I wonder what their tagline would be. Oh, introducing people to the real Jesus. So you know that's not their mission or their core values, but what you're seeing is their tagline right here in the front. Again, a great choice. What I'd want to do is I'd want to watch, and then let's scroll down. I don't know the locations. What city is this, by the way? Where are we? That's Tulsa. So it's probably, I'm gonna guess Oklahoma. Let's see. Go to location. Either my internet's just super slow. Tulsa. Tulsa what? It's gotta be Oklahoma, right? I'm sure that picture of the building is always good. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yep, there it is. So interesting. Church on the Move in Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right, so hopefully you're seeing some of the website, the way that people interact with it. I know you guys already know stuff like this, but I've just seen it done so badly, and this is your messaging. You've got to do it well. Go look at people who are doing it well. I just gave you 3. Now, let me show you some social media sites because, man, people can do those badly. So let's start with, this is Saddleback Church in Orange County, which is near where I am. What do we see? Well, 11 hours ago, this dude from Berlin, Germany, told the daily devotional, Saddleback Berlin. Wow, that's impressive. I can find the number. That would be the website. There's a lot of people following it. It's just cool. But when I go to Facebook, I'm looking for the pastor to talk to me, which I think that's what this is right here. Oh, that's his message. I'm looking for kind of like what's happening this weekend. Exactly. So there it is. What's happening this weekend? You know, it's quicker. It's like up to date and it's interactive. And I would assume, yeah, comments. If somebody comments, what I want to see is, do they comment back? I see top fans, which means they comment a lot. 18 comments. And either people are commenting. Yes, it's Pastor Buddy. So I guess the people are interacting with each other. Thank you, Pastor Buddy. Yeah, I was just curious. So whatever you do, basically there needs to be interaction. If it's not you, then the people that you are with or working with should be commenting for you. See, here we go. During COVID, what's happening? This is what they're doing. That's the kind of stuff when I go to a Facebook page I'm looking for. See how the medium's totally different? If we went to the Saddleback website, it would not have these same messages on it. It would be more of a front door brochure of this is in general who we are. I just pull it up, tells you kind of like where you can visit, like the location, how do you get involved in small groups, but there's no interaction happening here. Facebook has to be different. Let's do another one. Now I've opened up.
Hey, welcome to Church Home. We're so glad you're here.
Now I've opened up a YouTube page. Let me mute this. It would have just started, and it tells me this is Church Home, by the way. This is a just a very contemporary church, but their YouTube page is awesome. And our YouTube page has just all these different videos, and see how he writes these where you can tell exactly what you're jumping into. It's just YouTube has just a different way of communicating, and it has to be big and bold in your face, right off the, just straight to the point. What are we looking at? Under pressure, sex, life, and more. Like you have literally about 5 words to get across someone's being drawn into it. That's the difference. YouTube's different. It's clean. It's very clean. You want to see, all right, what are the videos? And then usually there's categories for the videos. This one looks like they just have them all listed, but a lot of them will have categories. That's a great part of, like, let's see if their Instagram does it. Instagram gives you categories across the top. And I'm betting, nope, they didn't use it. There should be little dots right here. Interesting. Let's do a different Instagram page. I know Hillsong's really good at it. Or I'll pull up Friends Church. This is actually the church that I work for right now. And so you can see their albums, and what we're on is Instagram. Instagram is pictures. And in those pictures, you're seeing what this church is all about. And I go to this church and I recognize people in all of these pictures. I know these people. So when you say, this is what our church is about, and look at how this is really cool, actually, the way they've done this. They've made it so clean. So when I want to see what are the people like that are there, I can see actual pictures of them, and then I can go to their albums and their podcasts, and it's all right here. It's like this Instagram is this daily interaction, and knowing obviously this church, daily they're putting out new stories for me to follow. So let me close this down. So you don't have to. All right, let's do another one. How about Pinterest? So Hillsong United uses Pinterest really well, which is funny. They only have 13 followers. I don't think people realize, but you can go on here and see all these pictures that have been tagged, or there's just groups made. Let's see here. All these people connecting like this. So the Christian singers connect. Look at that. Although some of those I don't think are Christian, but that's a whole other subject. All right, so here we go. Home. No, we're way off. Okay, I've gotten completely off base of Pinterest, but you get the idea that it's a whole different site. All right? Are you going to use it correctly? All right, I hope that helps. I just want you to kind of see that every social media platform is different. I did churches. So whatever you're launching, go look at all the different, I'll say competition, even though that's not how it works in church world, but look at what everyone else is doing in each medium and then see who can lead that area for you and what is going to be your messaging in that platform. Begin to build a brand that will be distinctively you. I'm excited because I think this is the stuff that people launching don't realize, and it's because it's hard, but it matters. And you should spend time with this particular area of what you're launching. It matters. It matters so much. All right, next time we'll be talking about which is neighborhood watch. How are we going to reach our neighbors? That is key. Helping our community, reaching our neighbors, and more importantly, getting our leaders and our people that are part of what we're doing, neighborhood, reaching their neighbors, neighborhooding, reaching their neighbors. All right, guys, have a great time. We'll see you next time. Can't wait.